Good morning. I'm MJ from Linus Publications, and this morning we are going to continue with some of the hot spots around the world. And I added a new country actually onto my list, and that is Poland. So we're going to cover them this morning. The reason they're on this list is because they had an incursion into their airspace from Russia with drones. This has happened before, but I think before Poland was ignoring it to some extent. But this time they actually brought up their fighters, and I believe the United States also participated in having one of their fighters brought up. So that's significant. So let's take a look at what's happening right now in Poland from an astrological viewpoint and see if we can get a little bit better idea of what's happening from the configurations. First thing we have is in the solar arc, we have Saturn, sorry, that is squaring Pluto. Now Saturn, when we're looking at a transit, that means that we're having what? Restriction coming down. And what is this on? It's an effect on what we're controlling, which is Pluto. So Poland is thinking that they have control. They have, they maintain their airspace, whatever here. And now we have what? Saturn coming in, which is saying, oh, guess what? You don't have control. So they actually had to do what? They had to send up jets to restrict other countries, in effect Russia, from coming into their airspace. Now, as a note, Saturn in their chart, and I'm not sure how good their birth time is, Saturn is actually ruling the third house, which would be neighbors. And in a sense, you think of borders when you're thinking of a country, borders and those neighbors. So we have what? A neighbor from Saturn causing problems of control. So that's pretty good. It's right on sort of the money when we look at the possible ways to interpret this. And again, that was in the solar arc. So this is going to be going on for a little bit longer than just, these few days. It has been going on and it will be going on. Next thing we have is a transit, and that's on 9/7. And that's Uranus in conjunct Uranus. This is change coming on change. This is not, an inconjunct is a difficult angle. So it's a break and adjust. Poland probably didn't think that this is something that would happen. They were thinking that they would be able to control Russia, but Russia is making their intents known that no borders are going to be secure. Uranus is also in the third house, which again brings up a neighbor, borders. And this is saying it's something new or rebellious against, in effect, the newness, innovation, rebellion. In this case, they're not sure how to respond because this is just so different than what they have been faced with before. So this is an in-your-face type of action that Russia put out. So it's important to see how Poland comes through with this. Now, the next thing we have is a solar arc angle, and that's Venus conjuncting Pluto. So Venus is, think of it as trying to bring in, diplomacy, relations, trying to bring all those nice things. For what? In effect, to appease the enemy in some case, or the person that's trying to get control, or to get control. And that's the Pluto here. Conjunction is the emphasis. So in this case, Poland is actually going to try to make many efforts here to fix what's going on. And this is a solar arc, so this has been going on for a while. Now, as a note, Venus is actually ruling the house of your open enemies. And Pluto is ruling the 12th house and the first house of Poland. So that means that this is they're taking it as an affront against their nationality, okay, their country. Now and that's on 9/16. So they're going to take some time to think about this and then come back with some things to make sure this doesn't happen again or how to deal with it. Unfortunately, around 9/27, it doesn't look like what they've been trying to do is going to have a very big effect because we have Saturn opposing Mercury. Saturn is what? Well, since it's in opposition, difficult angle, Saturn will be restrictions. On what? Mercury? Mercury is travel. Travel, plans, communication. So in this case, they're going to have a lot of conflict. It's an opposition between trying to restrict Russia coming into their airspace. That's pretty significant. Okay, that's a big deal if they can't restrict Russia from coming into their airspace. Next thing we have on 9/28, we have Uranus, which is squaring the sun. Sun is the national identity of Poland. Uranus is what? Rebellion, things that are different, new things, technology, innovation. Square is a tension, it's a stress angle. This is indicating that this new thing that Russia is doing is a threat to the national identity. And this is something, it's a squid. They're going to have to react to it. And they will react. They will do something here that identifies that this is how we're going to move ahead. On 10/23, we have a solar angle, and that is Jupiter in conjunct Neptune. Again, the solar type of angles last much longer. And think of it as a nuance that is there for a while. In this case, Jupiter is trying to expand, trying to provide opportunities in their vision, which is the Neptune. In conjunct is saying, no, break and adjust. You have no path in this direction. So what they're going to try to accomplish with Russia, if anything, or what they're trying to accomplish at this time, could also be with NATO or with Ukraine. It's not going to work. There's no path. What they think they have an opportunity to do, there's no way to get there. Now, lastly, what we have is 12/30, we have Uranus trying Mercury. This is actually a significant beneficial angle in that there's some newness here, there's something different, there's some innovation, maybe there's some going beyond what the current problem is to be able to fix it. And Mercury is, in effect, the thinking, the plans, the processes, the communication. So this could be an indication that, yes, they're trying different things to resolve this problem. Now, I hope you enjoyed this reading and have a great day. Bye now.